Welcome to another episode of SG Crypto. This is going to be a 6-part series on Flare Finance as a whole. So we're going to be going through each of the 6 products on Flare Finance. So you got FlareX, you got, I can't even remember, we got FlareX, FlareFarm, okay, so here we go, FlareX, FlareFarm, flarewrap, flareloans, flaremutual, and flaremine. And we are going to go through each of those in this 6-part series. And the first one we're going to cover is FlareX, which is this episode. And so one thing I do want to mention before we get going is just last week I started a Discord where we can kind of have a more in-depth conversation about Flare. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, something that requires immediate attention, if you have ideas on videos or a certain project that you want me to cover, you can also drop that in there. If you are a creative yourself and you want to collaborate, that is also a place where you can get in contact with me. Really the best way to get in contact with me the fastest, if you're looking for a response right away, that is the place to get me. And I will leave a link an invite to that in the description. So with that, let's get into it. So FlareX. First, let's cover exactly what Flare Finance is. Flare Finance is a protocol, and it is compliant. It is a compliant, decentralized, autonomous organization. We've talked about those. They are really built by the community for the community, which is it just brings more interest and more involvement from the community. That's what a DAO really is, the DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, and it has this protocol. Flare Finance has added KYC, Know Your Customer, and anti-money laundering regulatory features, ensuring a trustable experience. And it offers unique features like tax solutions to help ensure users are supported with tools that can help them accomplish their goals. And so FlareX is the first of the 6. And FlareX is the ecosystem's swaps and margin trading platform. It allows traders to swap and leverage various tokens trustlessly in a non-custodial manner, meaning you don't have to hold it. FlareX utilizes immutable smart contracts to provide automated market makers with liquidity. Automated market makers are really just the alternative to your traditional buy and sell market. These are what are called liquidity pools. You guys have all heard about them, and you're going to hear about them a ton in crypto space, because that's really what that's a lot of the hype in the DeFi space, is these AMMs. And so participants of the ecosystem can become on-demand liquidity providers, so providers of liquidity, and they earn fees for doing so in the form of a boosted liquidity pool position. Trading pairs within FlareX are handled by governance proposals to reduce spam and scam attempts within the trading platform. Initially, FlareX will allow all trading pairs against yFlare, yFIN, YUSD, Flare, FXRP, FDoge, FLitecoin, and FXLM. These will be the initial ones, so these will not require any sort of voting on governance or anything. These will be available from the get. And further pairs that want to be brought on will have to be governance proposals, essentially. And so the holders of the governance tokens like yFlare, yFIN, and I believe Spark will be a part of governance. Those people will have a say in the pairs that come on, as well as fees that are associated with trading, which we'll get into in a second. So F assets can be voted in. So these are F assets right here, or these are F assets: FXLM, FLitecoin, FDoge, and FXRP. Those are F assets, and they can be voted in by governance as more are added to the Flare ecosystem. Additionally, tokens bridged from flarewrap are automatically added upon approval via a governance proposal. This means assets from other networks can be traded easily once they are added to the cross-chain asset bridge. So flarewrap is really just a way to wrap your let's say XRP into FXRP and in and out of it. And so once these tokens, what they're saying here is with the flarewrap or tokens bridged from flarewrap are automatically added upon approval via a governance proposal. Once they are on the bridge, you won't have to wait for that governance approval or proposal. It'll just be on the network, and you can do it at your own leisure, is my understanding. And also, to address what they said here, If assets can be voted in by governance, as we kind of covered that here with governance token holders will have the say on new F assets. So swaps trading on FlareX is conducted easily on the platforms. Traders can select which tokens they would like to trade, view charts detailing previous price history, volume, available liquidity, and how much their trade will impact the market they are trading in. Additionally, traders can see the amount of fees that will be taken from their trade if conducted. So further on that, price history on FlareX is a collection of trades over a period of time displayed in intervals for traders to have a better understanding of the overall direction of the market within that time interval. Price increases are represented by green bars on FlareX, while price decreases are represented by red bars. If any of you are into trading, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Users are able to select from available time intervals: 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15, 30, 1 hour, 2, 4, 12, 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month. And they utilize various charting tools. So you'll be able to do essentially like TA on this platform. And for all you who are kind of like, what is this guy talking about right now? FlareX is that trading platform. What is going on, bro? I was just on this. Yeah, so FlareX is where you will be able to, I guess it's not going to let me load this, but yeah, you will be able to view the chart history of whatever asset you want in these time intervals, the 1, 5, all the way to a month. You will be able to view them, look at how the price has been fluctuating over the past minute, hour, day, month, week, whatever, just to better help you make a better financial decision for yourself. And also with the talk of volume on FlareX is displayed and accurately reflects overall buying and selling pressure. That is also going to be added to it. It's not right now, as you can see on FlareX, but this is volume right here. This is what volume is. It's just at the bottom of the chart. It'll just show the amount of buying or selling that has been happening on a daily period, like right here. Very low volumes, not a lot of buying and selling. But here there's a lot of volume, and so a lot of buying and selling. So that's just what volume is, and that is not a good description of it. Volume is very important when doing TA. Okay, I'm learning TA right now, so don't think I'm an expert. So liquidity on FlareX varies from pair to pair depending on participation in the liquidity pools. FlareX utilizes an adaptable supply curve to produce liquidity as closely correlated to a live market as possible. This means that supply is gradually more available based on specific pricing points established by live market conditions. So you have the live market, like TradingView, the live market here of the actual price of the token, and then you would have a decentralized exchange like FlareX's price points. And so that's what they're talking about with this adaptable supply curve. And this is my understanding that FTSOs, the FTSO data providers like AFTSO, Best FTSO, they are providing data, right? And that data is the prices of the tokens, for each token. And so the more accurate they are, the more pinpoint accuracy they have on the asset they are providing data for, they are the FTSO to receive the rewards for that given epoch. And so that is what this adaptable supply curve is. They are the providers, and that's how this will be adapting to the live market to give everybody the most accurate price points for each asset. And then fees from each trade, this is what we were talking about earlier as far as governance. Fees from each trade are taken in the form of the currency being traded. At launch, fees are set at 0.30% of each trade conducted. This fee is adjustable via a governance proposal. So governance token holders like YFIN, YFlare, or not, YFIN, YFlare, and I believe Spark. I keep saying that because it's been coming up a lot lately, and I believe it is one of the governance tokens, and it can be used as such. You will have a say in what the fees are set at. So it could be 0.30 right now, but you could set that to 0.20 or 0.15, or you could bring it up to 0.50. And the higher the fees are, the more incentivized people are to provide liquidity to the pools. Because as you can see here, fees from these trades, fees are distributed back to liquidity providers and APY Cloud as 90% to liquidity providers, 8% to the team, and 2% to the APY cloud. So the more money that's going back to the liquidity providers, which is important, the more interest we'll have in this protocol, in this platform, in the ecosystem as a whole. So governance token holders will have somewhat of an important, well, they will have an important role to play. So, and then just to kind of wrap up on what a liquidity pool is, a liquidity pool is a smart contract that locks tokens to ensure liquidity for those tokens is available on a decentralized exchange. FlareX allows participants to supply traders with decentralized on-demand liquidity and collect passive income via trading fees in the same manner as centralized exchanges. FlareX liquidity pools require a 50-50 token split. We all know this if you've been participating in ExFi these past few months. It requires a 50-50 split, meaning the user must provide equal value amounts of both tokens. After providing liquidity, the system mints the LP tokens for the user, which you do in the liquidity section, right? After you have that 50-50 split, you get those LP tokens in the liquidity section, as I just showed you, and these LP tokens act as keys to unlock the provided liquidity in like Flare farms. Fees are accrued in real time relative to the user's pool share as trades occur. A user can collect their accrued trading fees and reclaim their provided liquidity at any time. And again, we know this if you guys have been participating in ExFi. As soon as you put those LP tokens in that pool, you see that immediately the claim button shows up and you can start claiming, because trades are happening pretty frequently, and so those fees are already adding up. So you don't have to wait a 24-hour period. You can wait a minute period, a second period, and claim. Obviously, it doesn't make really financial sense to do it every second, but you get it. You get what I'm saying? A user can collect their accrued fees at any time. When a user withdraws from the liquidity pools, they burn their LP tokens. In exchange for the LP tokens, the system returns the original tokens that you provided. So if that was XRP and Canary Dollar, or FXRP and YUSD, I guess in this case, then those would be returned to you after you burn those LP tokens. And so liquidity providers are key to the success of any automated market maker, and therefore must be adequately incentivized. That goes back to this, why from going from point 30 to point 50 might make sense. And so driven by the Flare Network's F Asset Rewards Pool, FlareX liquidity pools offer triple rewards to participants in the form of liquidity fees, right? We covered that. Flare reward drops on F assets, and Flare farm launchpad rewards. The launchpad is really just has to do with governance. It's right here, and it has to do with like YFIN, YFlare, and that will be for tomorrow's video. So that's it on this one. I want to kind of keep these shorter, just because this will be a 6-part series for this week, all the way from today till Saturday of this week. I'll be dropping a video on each of the different protocols within yield farming, or Flare farm being tomorrow's video. So I will catch you guys in the next video. If you have questions, comments, concerns, found I maybe said something wrong, please correct me, and please ask, so we can all learn together. And of course, I would love for you to be able to join the Discord. That link is in the description. That way we can kind of have a little bit of a more intimate relationship and really just build this community. So with that, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow.